place, Maud. Come on, Petal. They won't eat you. That's the least of your problems.
Stand yourself up, girl. And whatever you do, don't take no deep breaths. That won't do you no good near.
Oh, I think I'm going to be sick.
Don't think about it. Think about getting paid. Think about buying a new hat. Being the Queen of England, anything.
Oh, we've got enough insights to deal with here without clearing up your own.
All right, little un. You haven't forgot how you was on your first day.
Stop calling me that. Me name's Kate. Oh, it's awful.
Nothing wrong with your eyesight then. That's right. Awful by name, awful by nature. Feeling a bit liverish myself.
Ain't you never seen meat before?
No, not.
You never seen a butcher's? Come on then, you can't stand round here all day waiting for the truth if you decide to fall down again.
Give her a chance.
What's your name?
Annie.
I'm Maggie. She's Ellen. Her with the awful jokes is Polly, and the little madam is Kate. You start by helping Kate. Then when we get a chance, we'll show you what else you've got to do. But you've got to keep your eyes and your brain on what you're doing. Otherwise, you'll end up like Maud.
Now we've just got to keep the floor clean, on account of it gets all bloody, and it's bad for your health once it's jellified around your ankles.
Having trouble lifting your meat, Jimbo? Here, let me give you a hand.
Leave him alone.
Oi, what are you doing helping him? You know what they're like. Give them an inch and they'll take a yard.
More like they think they got a yard when they only got an inch.
This girl Maud used to work here. Best with a knife she was. Leaves when she gets married. Day after her wedding night, nearly cut her fingers right off.
Ow.
She was playing cards and she threw her hand in. How'd you think?
But,
With a bread knife.
oh, thought you said she was the best one.
She was. I'm telling you, right?
Shock will get him married.
See, all her life she'd been led to believe that something this big was really this big. And she finds out on her wedding night, well, severely impaired her judgment.
I don't know why you always have to start up like that in front of Jim.
I feel sorry for him and all. It's not right at that age, frail young lad having to do this sort of work.
Don't you forget, he's getting paid half again what we are.
Oh, Christ, don't stop with that bleeding union business.
What happened to her?
God told her in a dream, Ellen, you are the leader of women. Get them interested in the unions.
No, that woman, Maud.
They're talking about unions as in trade, not marriage.
She went into production of offspring.
So, you got children then?
No, I work here.
Now, Maud is. She's like the rest of them, a one-woman baby show.
What are you talking about? She ain't even had the first one yet.
Give her time.
She ain't having no more. I met her down Church Street on Sunday. She said after this one's born, she ain't having no more.
What's she planning on? Becoming a widow?
No. Her sister works in the sausage skin factory. That got her thinking. If them sausage skins can hold sausages without splitting, then what's the bet?
Not just a nipper, call it a nipper. I'm 15 next birthday and I wouldn't care, but you ain't never got yourself a chap, have you?
You've got one so frail he can't even cart his own intestines around. Never mind 100 weight of cattle tubes.
I still don't understand. What trade are you in, Ellen?
Eh?
You mentioned trade unions, remember?
Polly, did you really have to bring that up again?
Oh, no, I'm not in one, but I'm trying to get one started.
Leave it out, Ellen. You're worse than a dog with a bone, you are. No one wants to go to your boring meetings and read boring books and drink tea with boring people named Jasper, Sebastian and Beatrice.
I've had a little bit of trouble trying to get anyone interested.
I only just got here. Don't want to go on strike.
Oh, and do you want to go on working a 13-hour day in terrible conditions?
Here she goes. Ignore her. Pretend you can't hear.
Being treated like you're not worth a life. No pay when you're ill, no compensation when you chop your hand off. Laid off without warning.
I'm sure Mr. Cuttle Smythe would be very interested to hear your views.
Oh, blimey, I never heard you coming.
Of course you never.
She was only joking, Harry.
Mr. Dedham to you. None of you are indispensable, right? Not one. So just remember that. Don't let them corrupt you, dear. They're scumless lot, each and every one of them. How come a little flower like yourself couldn't do better than this, eh?
Don't know, Mr. Dedham.
Oh, Harry! Some bat's got stuck in the bloody gully! Quick!
Let's have a look then.
Never mind, I've got it. You going outside?
Give it here.
Ta.
Annie, you gotta watch him. Always hold the brush like this, with the handle sticking out at the end. Then, if he comes up behind you, just jab it right back, right into his turkey gristle.
Do you get turkey's ear then?
Yeah, except they're still walking around on two legs, giving orders.
Here, how old are you?
16?
All right. Where you been?
Nowhere.
Well, where do you live now?
St. John's.
Oh, St. John's, eh? You still live with your mum and dad? Well, you got a room then?
Leave it, Ellen.
Well, where? Oh, you in that house, ain't you? For friendless girls.
So you had a baby then?
Born dead.
What are you looking at the floor for? We ain't judging you.
Everybody else does.
They do. Well, you got that address.
You're better off getting yourself a decent place to live.
There's a room going in the house where I am. If you like, you can come and see it with me this evening.
They say I've got to stay where I am.
What for?
Prevention. Stop me being loose living. That's why I couldn't get a job back in service and I had to work here.
Ellen was in the service. Weren't you, Ellen? Gave it up especially so she could work here.
What happened to you then?
Suited neither my health nor my temperament. In fact, it only lasted a day.
Oh, Jesus. You must have done something terrible.
They done something terrible to me. I was 13, right? And the boy was a year younger than me. His mother was in the room. Mine, she didn't turn her hair. He threw his shoes at me and said, "Clean these at once." I said, "Excuse me, Poppet. May I suggest you shove them up your arsehole?"
Lucky you had somewhere else to go.
I tell you, girl, you may think this place is hell, but we get paid in 1 week nearly what you get paid for a whole year in service. By comparison, it makes this place seem more like paradise.
Except the only difference is, you didn't have to wear no clothes in the Garden of Eden. If you don't wear 2 coats in this corridor, you'll be in a wooden overcoat before you can say foot in mouth.
Now, this place in St. John's, didn't I read in the Kentish Mercury? I think I did. That they're going to pull it down and put in its place a building so enormous it could fit the entire cattle market in it.
Did you?
Now that you mention it, I'll remember that and all.
It's going to be made into a refuge for loose and fallen men.
Oh, the other one.
That's right. Any man who so much as showed himself to anyone other than the midwife who delivered him is going to have to live there.
And even men who look at women are going to have to go there. For prevention is better than cure.
That'll be the day.
Please don't say nothing about me in front of the men.
Don't you worry. We know what they're like when they find out. They think you're fair game.
What you on about? Most blokes round here think we're rubbish. I mean, to them, there's only one thing worse than being a gut gill, and that's being an whore.
Time for tea. Katie, take Annie with you so as you can show her.
You don't have to mind their talk. They're all right.
Polly seems nice.
That's right. I mean, listen, right? So I thought that. But you still do, especially about that Ellen. Then last Christmas, my mother died. I was right upset. She made us promise she wouldn't have no pauper's burial. Tried to reason with her. I said, "You never would have spent that much money on yourself when you was alive. Why bother when you ain't even going to be here to see it?"
I know, but Eldons are funny that way, aren't they?
We done everything, but we still never had enough. It was Ellen what stood outside the gate here on payday till she collected enough. And then she just give it to me. Not a word. Nothing. Right, come on. They'll all be moaning and groaning for the tea. Don't worry. You'll be all right.
Where have they got to?
Wherever it is, if they don't get back here soon, they'll have me to answer to. Never mind Harry.
Ooh, well, look at you.
The working class can kiss my ass. I've gotten the foreman's job at last.
Oh, yeah? How can a woman become a foreman? Can't you talk about anything other than rights and wrongs? This way, that way. State of how things should be nonsense.
Oh, dude.
Bloody hell. It isn't weak, it's helpless.
Oh, and it's cold.
Forget the tea, forget the tea. Guess who we just saw? Only Lady Eleanor and Lord Tartadine.
What was they doing? Walking on water?
No, they're here in the market.
Butcher's shut and she's run out of devilled kidney.
No, they've come to look at us all working.
What does she think we are? Sideshow?
Oh, be about that club she set up. A non-starter by her, heard one.
What club?
We don't rightly know. Some do-goody thing run by some interfering ladies with Jesus between the ears. We're supposed to go down there, but we don't really fancy it.
By all accounts, she's never shown her face in there. And I bet my life she'll never bother to poke a nose in here either.
Oh no, my lady, I implore you. You don't want to come in here. It's not for someone of your sensibilities.
My good man, I am the very best judge of my sensibilities. The purpose of my visit is to meet these young ladies.
Ladies? Oh, your highness, how you compliment them. Why, their language would knock you sideways. It's enough to stagger an horse.
I think you are forgetting that I experienced my poor husband bleed to death. His language was a choice, forgivable in circumstances, but choice.
I shall see that no harm befalls the Duchess. So be a good man and allow us through, will you?
Well, of course.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh my.
Oh, Foreman! Would it be possible to give Lord Tartadine a cup of tea? I must apologise for Lord Tartadine. Please, carry on with your work.
That nearly happened to me, like. It's my first day, so I know what it feels like.
I don't suppose you ever find it pleasant, though. What's your name?
I'm Annie. This is Maggie, Ellen, Polly, and Kate.
Pleased to meet you. And how many women are working here in this market?
Well, there's about 50 in each shed, and there's 10 sheds in all, so that's about 500.
And what sort of work? I mean, what does your job entail?
Put your finger right on it, madam. Entrails.
Chopping up animal flesh, sorting and cleaning the lungs, the tubes from the hearts, livers, kidneys and that.
Getting the meat ready for how you find it in the butcher's, basically.
Hence the collective noun for you all. Now, girls. Oh, I'm quite au fait with the word gut, and I often have to use the word belly in context of asking my cook if we might have a belly of pork.
Oh, right. There you go.
Oh!
Don't say nothing.
Oh, thank you, but no, no, I don't think so. The very purpose of my visit was to talk to you.
Oh,
Are all the women working here as young as you?
Well, mostly because they leave once they get married. There are a few old ones though, like nearly 30.
And do you become rather demoralised working here?
We've got as much morals as the next person, lady.
Yes, we do. The conditions that we work in, as you can see, leave a lot of room for improvement.
shut it, Ellen. Lady Ellen, I don't want to know about that.
No, but I do. I've heard about this place, and I came to see it myself, and I agree with you. It's a gruesome work.
Someone's got to do it, I suppose.
I don't know if you've heard, but I have set up a club for you, for any young women working here. In Creek Road, not 2 minutes walk away.
We did hear about it.
I'm baffled as to why it's been so poorly attended.
To be honest with you, we don't have the time.
Life's too short.
Life's for the livers.
But it's in the evening. It doesn't start until 7.
We don't knock off till 8.
But then what do you do?
Most of us have to go home, get the tea ready, help put our younger brothers and sisters to bed.
Sleep. We have to be back here at 7 in the morning.
But the club, the whole purpose of the club is for you, to give you something specially for you. Not work, whether it's here or at home, but a place to go where it's warm and safe and great fun. There's a piano, and we have cake and coffee and plenty of other things.
What do you want to go wasting your time with us for? We got jobs and homes. There's them far worse off than us. We're all right as we is, honest.
Your unselfish attitude is commendable, but I have done other things in this area, and I thought that it's time that you, young ladies of Deptford, got the piece of the cake. Your well-being is now, well, my concern.
No need to concern yourself further. Now you've seen us. See, we're strong as oxes.
Well, please tell me you'll give the club a try.
We'll do that all right.
That's about all we'll do.
Oh, we will, madam. Right. The next port of call, sheep gutting sheds.
No, they ain't got no morals. What they got is awful.
Pardon?
Awful.
Sorry.
It entails only entrails. Just a joke like.
I'll say goodbye for now, but please promise me you'll give club a try. You won't regret it. It was nice to talk to you. Maggie? Kate? Helen? Polly? Annie?
Don't think I'll ever wash it again.
If he keeps on staring at it like that, all boggled-eyed and starts shopping, you don't have to wash it. You'll hack it off.
She'd be lovely though, wouldn't she? See that dress on her? What it must have cost.
Look at you. I thought you didn't like Tom.
She ain't no toff. She's related to royalty. You saw how she was with us. Spoke like she was taking tea with us or something.
She might be dressed expensive, but didn't she look comical?
Yeah, she never even had no earrings, poor cat.
If you ask me, she wants us out of here, so men can have our jobs.
Men would do this job. It's only a club she set up.
Fancy her stooping to visit you lot. Bet you showed us up good and proper.
She were asking after you, Harry. Where'd she go?
Oh, yeah.
You, how many times do I have to tell you? You call me Mr. Dedham. What do you mean, asking after me?
She says to us, she says, with a little, like, shiver in her voice. Who's that handsome, bulky foreman?
Oh, go on with you.
She reckoned you'd really like to let her hair down with a body like yours.
That's quite enough.
So you better watch out, Mr. Dedham, because it's been 2 years since she saw her husband bleed to death. Maybe she wants to see it happen again.
Now you've all stopped to have a good boggle at a lady, something you lot will never be if you lives to be 100. Don't think you'll be stopping again for your dinner break. Also, we don't want you sloping off outside because they're unloading. We don't want the cows getting frightened before they reach the slaughtering bend.
But Harry, we need some fresh air.
Well, if you go out there, the air wouldn't be fresh no more. You lot would turn it rancid.
Time we done something about him.
Well, what have we been going on about these weeks, eh? Organising ourselves.
Right, girls, pork sandwiches tomorrow.
Say no more.
They'll give us a discount then.
Very generous discount, don't you worry.
Don't know how you guys could possibly eat that stuff when you see what happens to every day.
Except Ellen, who'll be sticking to her lettuce sandwiches through thick and thin.
She only eats rabbit food, her. She's not careful, she'll end up with rickets.
You don't know what you're talking about. You don't.
It's these modern people she's acquainted with.
She'll be riding one of them bicycles next you, wait.
Leave it out.
What modern people?
Troublemakers.
This little educated band of pilgrims what go around stirring up folks. First she fell in with the fish filleting lot, then the fur pullers.
What's that got to do with eating lettuce?
Oh, my dear, they wouldn't be seeing dead eating flesh.
I don't feel.
Go outside.
Feel. Oh. I'll have to.
Suppose about no sleep.
Leave it.
You heard what Harry said.
She won't want us standing over her anyway.
I thought she got used to it, like. I never meant to. Well,
Weren't you mentioning meat would done it? It was you mentioning bleeding lettuce. Some of us will never get used to it. Don't you think it's cruel? What happens to those poor defenceless animals?
at least they got the chance to run away. You should spare a thought for them poor lettuces, Ellen. Just sitting there, waiting for you to rip him up without hope of escape. Oh.
We're bleeding lucky we get to eat meat. Before I worked here, if we saw any, I would go to me dad and me brothers.
And Ellen, if no bugger ate meat, we wouldn't have no jobs, would we?
Enter.
Lord Harterdon to see you, madam.
Show him in, Emily, please.
Very good, madam.
Oh, Emily,
Yes, madam?
would you please take those clothes to Johnston and instruct him to burn them?
As you say, madam.
Emily,
Yes, madam.
they, the others, call you Emmy, don't they?
Why, yes, madam.
Could you spare me a couple of moments of your time? Take a seat. Emmy, I like that. Sounds friendly. I've had a rather interesting morning, Emmy. I've been on a jaunt around Deptford.
Deptford?
Do you come from there?
Why, no, my lady. I come from Action Park.
Well, I have set up a club for any young women working there, and this morning I paid them a visit.
The Gut Girls. Begging your pardon, madam, but I don't know what you want to go bother yourself with them for.
Well, that's just it, isn't it? The world knows what they do for a living and has labelled them accordingly. By themselves, they're hardly likely to find an incentive to fight against becoming rough and unladylike.
Come to think of it, no other employer would touch them with a barge pole.
But what I cannot understand is why are they so reluctant to attend the club? They gave me one reason, and I am seeing Mr. Cuttle Smythe about it this afternoon, but I just thought maybe you have any suggestions.
I would think that if you were there in person, as it were, it'd make a world of difference.
But the ladies that run it are so much better at it than me.
But they're not you?
No, you're right, they're not. Thank you, Henley.
What for, madam?
An excellent idea. I'm not going to give up on this. Every time I think about those poor creatures, my heart goes out to them.
Poor is one thing they're not. Not really, madam.
Oh, goodness, I completely forgot about Lord Tarterdon. Please tell him to come straight through.
Helena,
Oh, Tarty, please stop making a fool of yourself.
if I were a brave man, I would ask for your hand.
Get up this instant. Stop being so ridiculous.
You are peeved at my untimely departure from the cattle market. My manhood has let you down.
Your manhood is neither there or here for me. I've asked you here to enlist your support as a friend. And that's all.
I will do anything to win your affection.
Time to drop this tunnel talk, Tarty. To business. Now, you didn't meet those poor children this morning.
No, how rude of me. I forgot to ask, how did it go?
Well, I met a good number. The talk was rather, well, strangely ill-mannered.
In what way?
Well, they spoke to me as if I was just any old buddy.
Oh, how dreadful, Helena.
It wasn't, really. Actually, it was a rather refreshing.
Oh.
It was a revelation. Really, I don't know what I'd expected. A rather mind-numb, dreary collection of girls, but they were full of vigour. Actually laughed and chatted with me. But those sheds, oh, the airlessness, the smell,
Don't remind me.
covered in stomach linings, some of them working up to their ankles in blood.
Please, Helena, spare me.
How would you like to sort through lungs, hearts, kidneys?
Awful.
liver? Yes, yes, it is. Awful. Oh. That's a joke. Oh, right, I get it now. tried something they said. Imagine, Edwin, being pushed into those working conditions in such tender age. No wonder they appear so rough. They have to be. It's disgraceful. I cannot believe what we're breeding.
Or not breeding. The fact of the matter is there is a grave concern for the high infant mortality rate among the lower echelons. Vis-a-vis, will there be enough healthy young men for the army in the next generation?
And where does the fault lie?
Well, with the women, of course. Who else? They go to work like men, they drink like men, they curse. Well, you met them. Some have even started to deny, and here you must excuse my unpardonable frankness, deny their menfolk marital relations.
I think if one has very little money, feeding one's children and oneself becomes an arduous task.
Well, lack of money may indeed affect the mortality rate, but it is no excuse for having no...
I'm not concerned about their relations, but about them vis-a-vis their squalid existence. Enter.
Mr. Cuddles, nice to see you, madam.
Show him in, please.
If it makes you happy, you shall have my support.
Thank you. Oh, Mr. Cuddlesmith, how lovely to see you. It is so kind of you to call by in such short notice.
Not at all. The pleasure is all mine, Lady Helena. Lord Tartardin.
Now, I'll come straight to the point. I've asked you here because my information tells me that you own a large proportion of the foreign cattle market.
You elevate my status too highly. I wish I did. Alas, I am merely a partner of a firm which owns some of the gutting sheds.
Well, that's what I'm interested in.
Really? You'd like to make me an offer?
Pardon?
I thought, sorry, that you were interested in buying.
Oh, no. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but what I actually wanted to ask you was a favour.
Well, by all means, if I can be of...
I would like you to give girls a permission to give work an hour earlier on a Thursday as an incentive for them to attend my girls' club.
That's a lot of working hours, ma'am. With due respect, do you realise what you are asking?
I'm sure you could use your influence.
And I was just about to say it's not really up to me. Of course I will ask.
Thank you. And your wife, Priscilla, I was rather hoping she might accompany you this afternoon.
She had another commitment.
I did meet her at Lady Somersville. We were given a talk about Argentine missionary extraordinaire. A very inspiring evening it was too.
Oh, yes.
It occurred to me that Priscilla would like to help me with my work in Deptford.
Well, how can I put this? My wife is rather withdrawn. Not a person who is readily at ease in social situations. I don't mean to undermine her, but I don't think she'd be suited to that sort of thing. To be brutally frank, she suffers from melancholy.
Please just ask her to call on me. After all, it's not really a social situation we're talking about.
Certainly, I will. Lady Helena. Lord Tartardin.
Even our Lord only turned water into wine.
I was born to privilege, and I'm aware of it. Please don't hold a candle for me, Tati. I will never marry again. I'm going to dedicate my life to charitable work.
You will forego your own happiness for the sake of the lowest of the low. Oh yes, Helena. Even by their own they are seen as marginally better than whores.
Edwin Tartardin, may I remind you that you are speaking to me?
It was my broken heart talking.
Well, curb it. And if you want my opinion, it is the men who live of those unfortunate women who are the lowest of the low.
You are so exquisite when you're serious.
And so would you be, if you really knew the plight of those poor, wretched, miserable girls. Come on, girls, you're dragging the eyes.
Yeah, right.
Oi!
Hold up, keep still, Harry's here.
Look down at the floor, girl. Shows on your bottom.
Oi, what's going on here? What's the matter with her?
Are you a doctor now, Mr. Dedham?
Oh no, what's happened? We renounce all liability.
Well, in this case, rest easy, because it ain't under no circumstances your responsibility.
What is?
You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Grown man not being able to guess. Women's troubles.
Oh, well, don't just stand there. Shift yourselves.
Come on, Annie. We've only got to get as far as the Brown Bear.
Can't you just go to that one? Seaman's Arms.
You are joking.
Come on, Gil, best foot forward.
Hold your hand out, naughty boy.
Hold your hand out, naughty boy. Last night in the pale moonlight, I saw ya, I saw ya, with an after.
Now, look here, girls. How many more times have I got to tell
We
you?
ain't girls, right then? We're ladies, got it?
Oh, yeah? Since when?
Since the Duchess of Deptford took lunch with us today.
Oh, yeah? Spilled the best claret down you, did she?
Let's admit, and more service is called for, Len.
Now, look here, girls. Ladies. Whatever. Got your own places to drink in. Since you've been coming in here, chaps don't feel safe. It's killing me custom.
What are you on about? We're better custom than the blokes. Where's our beers?
Ladies drink gin.
Ah, you see, that's the thing about being a lady. You've got the choice. And you know what ours is.
My leg, I think it's broken.
Oh, look what you made us forget. Don't look, have a bit of decency. Turn your back.
It's numb. I can't feel it. Ah,
Give it a rub.
What are you gawping at? Make yourself useful and bolt the door.
Is that better?
ouch. Pins and needles.
It'll go off.
Newspaper, Len?
Mind me tables, girls.
Oops.
Watch it. Furniture don't grow on trees. Bleed now.
Your belly aching, Len. The things are riddled. Wonder the woodworm soiled the meat.
Stinking joint.
Oh, I'm pleased you're coming round to my point of view.
What are you on about? That was fresh in today.
I ain't talking about the meat. I'm talking about Len's piss pot of a pub.
Well, we ain't stopping in here much longer, are we?
You can unlock the door now, Len.
No point. Nobody's going to come in while you lot are still here.
It's your first day, Annie.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bleed, Nell.
Let's go down that club on Thursday.
Better off coming to Union meet with me, you would.
You know why you don't like old Lady Eleanor? Because you two are a bit the same. She's trying to get us in one club and you're trying to get us in another.
And if Harry had his way, we'd all be in the club.
Come on, Annie. Me and you's going to find you a new place to live.
I told you. They won't let me leave.
We'll see about that.
Better go for myself.
Come on then.
You want a couple of bottles to take away, Polly?
Yeah, Tar.
And 4 to take out, Len.
Hey, where are you off to?
Somewhere where the stools ain't shit and can stand up by themselves.
Here, you can't make off with that.
Just getting out of your way, Len. It's only littering up the establishment, lowering the tone.
That's a shilling you owe me, all told.
Behave yourself, you muttonhead. Since when did we shortchange you?
Here, Maggie. You ain't got an husband yet, have you?
Well, I ain't likely to find one in here, drawn with you, am I? What anyone would want one of them for beats me.
Oh.
What's it to you, anyway?
Well, to tell the truth, we get some rough fellas in here, and I don't mind admitting they fair put the wind up me, but if you were here, like, beside me, I don't think I'd ever be frightened again.
Oh, Len, you're such a lump of lard.
What a woman.
Oi, Mother.
Taking up torn, have we?
Just fell part of me hands down Len's.
Well, how come we got to take it home?
Public bar, ain't it? Public's entitled to it. Thought them next door would be glad of it for firewood.
They chopped up the shutters today.
Oh.
Ain't got one stick of furniture in there now. Alpha's in that chair we got upstairs. Says, look, it's no use to me, I can't get up there. But he wouldn't hear of it. Pride. a good thing, God knows, but they'll carry 'em all off to the workhouse.
Yeah. I'll chuck it over their yard, right? And then you go out and do one of your carry-ons about how the street's being used for tipping rubbish. And that way, by burning it, he'll think he'll be doing us a favour.
I said to him, what are you going to do when the vicar comes round and he ain't got nothing but bare floorboards to rest his arse on?
I'm sure if Jesus stooped to a stable, the vicar can manage. Here, talking of stooping, guess who came and spoke to us all today? Our Lady of Deptford.
Oh, what for?
Oh, I don't know. So she can have her butchers, I suppose.
Well, she didn't want no quarter of tripe. It smells.
Oh, thank God you reminded me.
Oh, that'll have plenty of flavour, that will. It feels half cooked already.
I'll go and start, shall I?
In a minute. Sit down. Tell us about your day.
All right. Where's the boys?
Miss behaved at school today, so I sent them to bed without no supper.
Oh, you never.
Don't worry, I weakened about half an hour ago. Took them up some bread and a scrape. So, have you got any more gossip?
New girl started today. Annie, to take Maud's place. Fallen women like.
Public bars, fallen women, appearances from the gentry. Are you sure you've been to work and not to the music hall?
What do you mean it smells?
Them types poking their noses in. Oh yes, with the best of intentions granted, but mark my words, they always end up making things worse.
I don't see how they can though. I mean, as long as people eat meat, I'll always have a job. The only thing that could make anything worse is the balmy idea you've got to eat vegetables. Oh,
There's no use worrying over that. Never catch on. Talking of dark ideas, how is Ellen with her big mouth?
This is my room. Blimey, so tidy.
When I moved in, I wanted it different from my own. Everything was so cluttered.
All them books. Was them shelves here?
No, I made them. I can show you how if you'd like some in your room.
I don't believe it. Didn't I stand up to her? Mrs. Pickles at the Own.
Are you sure, Annie dear, Deptford is such a grotesque area with all manner of temptations to corrode a girl's moral conduct?
I know she was a silly bat and that, but she can't help the way she talks, and she's done all right by me.
What? Shut up in a prison with the only trinity for breakfast, dinner and tea, and all that hoity-toity nonsense in between?
I never had no place else to go, did I? It was them, or the streets, or the workhouse. Yeah, so I got the lectures, the looking down the nose, but I'll tell you one thing. It's a lot easier to stomach when you ain't starving hungry. I was fed proper there. They saw to that.
What about your chap then? Buggered off, I suppose?
He weren't my chap, were he? And he's not buggered off nowhere. Still living the life of Riley for all I knows.
Listen, you don't have to say nothing. You just have to say, Ellen, you got too much what a dog sniffs its arse with. And I'll hold my mouth. I won't take offence.
I was in service, not round here, in a beautiful house in Blackheath. And I was real proud of myself. I was. The master and mistress was all right. Never thrashed you or anything. There was above all that. They had a son at Oxford University. Really nice-spoken, educated gentleman. When he came home in the holiday, though, wouldn't let me be. In front of anyone, I mean, he treated me like dirt, but would creep up on me when no one was about. I fought him, pleaded with him, I threatened him, but he'd laugh. My ma would never believe it of her darling son. And it didn't only happen once. And when I fell, that was it. Got shot of me. I had nowhere else to go. Nowhere.
the streets. 6 months gone I was. And I was picked up and taken in to be examined for diseases. To them, I was a prostitute. And the way they look at you, and the way they treat you, and the way they hate you, and the way they blame you, and everyone blames me. But I never cried. Not one of them saw me cry. And even when I was told that it was dead, I never cried. Why don't they tell you that birth is such an awful, bloody, terrible, painful thing? Was born with the cord around its neck. It had strangled itself. Poor, poor, tiny little thing. And I looked at it before they took it away, and I thought, you lucky, lucky bastard. How much better if I'd have been born like that?
What was that Lady Helena talking to you lot for this morning?
She set up some poxy club.
Oh, yeah? Well, why don't we go there now instead of being out here by the river?
It's only for girls.
Well, that's not fair.
You earn more than me.
So?
That's not fair either.
Hey, you've been listening to that Ellen, you have. Told you she ain't right in the head.
Don't say that. She's been a good friend to me. You know it. I like her.
Yeah, do you know, I wish that we could get married right now. Then, I mean, you wouldn't have to work there at all, would you?
I'd have to work somewhere. We couldn't live off your money, and I'm not taking in washing and ending up with veins all bulging like Maggie's old girl.
Right, but when the children come along, Kate.
Here. They were saying something today about, sausage skins.
Oh, Katie! How could ya? I'm not putting no sausage skin near my... for no one, right? You've changed, you have. You've got just like them, and you used to be real nice.
I am real nice, ain't I? But if you think I'm going to spend my days working like an horse for nothing, you'd be better off marrying an horse.
I'd have to put a saddle and bridle around you, wouldn't I? Ride you down the street like a real gent.
I'm talking about us,
Katie!
red right here, you!
Go, will ya?
Sorry.
No, if the guys could see me now, they'd make mincemeat out of me.
You don't like working there either, do you?
No. I hate it. To the others, it's just like a job. You know, they get used to it, don't think about it. I just can't seem to be able to get used to it.
Best just to try and think of something else. That's what I do. Except when the meat comes in and it's still warm. That's horrible.
Oh, what do you think of that, huh?
Daydreams mostly. But then there is always quite a lot of chat.
Yeah. Do you know what I dream of? Having a shop.
What? A bleeding butcher shop?
Oh, no, like a toy shop, you know? With sweets, gobstoppers, you know, lucky bags and that.
Ballad sheets and jumping
Well,
jacks.
exactly, and proper toys. Made of wood. I could make them.
And I could paint them.
I mean, people like us, we don't really get shops, do we?
Of course we do. Look at Mrs. Jones on Princess Street. She turned her front parlour into a shop.
Didn't last long.
Only because her old man came back to her.
I mean, we just don't know enough about it.
We could find out.
That could be one of those things that they teach you at your club.
Oh yeah. That and how to give your profits back to Jesus.
Evening, Mother. Brought you a bottle. If it's not enough for your father spending all his waking hours in the alehouse, now you're at it as well.
Now you like one of an evening.
Oh, look at you was a man or something.
Oh, put it down and give me a hand.
New girl started today. Ellen's gone with her to find a place to live. She was living down that place on Ashmead Road.
She what? Oh, she's one of them sort then.
Suppose she must be.
Disgusting.
She ain't brazen or nothing.
What would you know? Hair silk seldom are brazen in front of women. Different story with the men though. That place where you work must be hell on earth. Come home stinking to high heaven. No wonder you can't get a man. No one will come within a mile of you without keeling over.
I don't want no man.
You what? What did you say?
Well, what would I want to end up like you for? 11 children and half as many
You
miscarriages.
shut your mouth.
Well, what would I want with that, eh?
You think when I was your age I thought I'd be spending the rest of my life being a drudge? That I wouldn't get no sleep for working all day and half the night.
So why did you then?
Did what?
Become a drudge.
Because that's life, ain't it? You get married, have children, half kill yourself trying to make ends meet. That's life and there's no denying.
Ain't gonna be my life.
That's what I used to say. You'll learn. Though I doubt you'll learn too much off them mussies down that hole where you work.
I don't want no...
Nothing else happened today.
Oh, yeah. Lady Eleanor came to visit.
I know, don't I? Not that you'd ever tell me that. No, you relish in your acquaintance with fallen women more. Now, I heard it from Mrs. Know-Nothing in Czar Street.
So what did she want then? For us to go to a silly club and learn how to become good wives and mothers, I suppose.
Well, if she's putting herself out for you, least you can do is show willing. God knows you could do with some lessons on those topics.
But I know all I need to know about being a good mother from you.
At least we've been allowed to eat our sarnies outside since old Eleanor graced us.
Oh, God. They told you lot to work 8 days a week standing on your heads. I'm sure after a couple of months you'd be saying, it's not that bad, really.
Pay attention, everybody. The saviour of working girls is talking.
Horrible though her birthplace was. A mere back room in Butcher's Row. Ridiculed and scorned by the world, she taught us how to be free.
One
day, we'll all be lining up to buy her latest book. My life's work amongst the gut girls of the gutter.
You can laugh, but...
Time to get back to work, girls. Not you, Ellen. You can take over from Jim this afternoon.
But that's not my job.
He's needed in the slaughtering pens. Unless you don't want the job at all.
What you made him do that for?
Since when did I answer to you? Here. Where's the other one?
Want to go strain her greens, if you must know.
Oh, it'll be such a relief when Lady Eleanor's finished with you lot. Can't wait till I've got a bunch of decent young ladies working for me.
She ain't even started with us, never mind finishing, so you can forget it.
Not if old Cuttle Smythe gets his way with the governors. She spent his ear good and proper. As if and when he wins through, you'll all be enticed to attend soirees at the club every Thursday evening.
What are you on about, Harry?
That's for me to know and you to find out. Yes, I'd be delighted to help you, sir. Charmed to make your acquaintance, sir. Anything you say, sir. Your wish is my command, sir.
What's he up to?
Never mind him. He's just had a turn.
There's Ellen. She's doing Jim's job for the rest of today, isn't she? But that ain't right.
Oh no! Living with Ellen ain't done you no good at all, girl. She's contaminated you.
She's got good ideas, she has.
Her trouble is she prefers shouting to laughing.
I mean, who do you know would rather read a book than go to the musical?
Don't talk about her when she's not here.
There's more to life than having a good time and the couple of hours to give you off at the end of the day.
What are you on about? You was only saying the other day how you was and how you're used to do it, like happier than you've ever been in your life.
I am. I can choose what I do in the evenings. Don't have to clear up after other people. Got enough money to still pay me rent and buy a new hat. And I've got friends.
So, what are you moaning about?
It would be better, say, if we had a separate room to eat in and a place to wash around and a proper place to piss.
You can't have everything you want in life, girl.
For God's sake, Priscilla. Anyone would think I was asking you to put your head in the lion's den. All I'm asking is that you be nice to Lady Helena.
It's just that I
know you don't feel like it. I know you'd prefer to sit and stare out of the window all day. I know you don't feel cheerful, but at least act cheerful in front of her for me. Don't show me up.
I don't want to let you down.
Then prove it. You're my wife. This is your chance to show your worth. I don't ask much of you, God knows. Just do this for me. She likes you. It's very important it stays that way. If we can remain good friends of hers, who knows where it will lead.
But this club... Arthur, I'm nervous. I don't think I'm cut out.
Just go along with her ideas, crackpot as they sound, for me.
But I...
Try, woman. Try. Try to be charming, enthusiastic, and even vivacious. Don't you understand there's a lot riding on this for us? Don't throw it away.
I will try.
That's it. Please, just look the part for me. Smile. That's better. Smile.
Priscilla, Arthur, how good of you to come.
Priscilla is very excited at the prospect of helping you with your work.
It's just that
On the other matter, I have spoken to the girls' direct employers who have voiced, unfortunately, some concern over allowing the girls to leave work an hour earlier on a Thursday. Mainly that it might encourage a lapse of punctuality, that sort of thing.
Oh, I can assure you that my aim is to help them to lead more responsible lives.
Well, I know that. It's just, if you were to write to the employers yourself, telling them of your intentions, I'm sure they would comply.
Of course. I shall do that today.
Well, I'll leave you two ladies to plan your strategies in peace. Lady Helena. Priscilla.
Such a charming man, your husband. And I'm delighted that you're as excited about my little venture as I am.
Oh, it's just that...
Shall I ring for Emmy and ask for tea?
Oh, no, please don't bother on my account. Oh, Emmy, do you call your servants by their pet names?
I can't see it does any harm. After all, they are people too.
Do they not take liberties? Become over familiar?
Oh, no, not at all. If I saw any sign to that, I shall put a stop to it.
We have a great deal of trouble keeping parlourmaids in particular. It seems that there are so many households with vacancies nowadays that servants can pick and choose where they go or what they want to do.
Quite so. But whilst there is choice for them, there is very little choice for those young ladies working in Deptford, and they are the object of my concern. I just thought with your interest in the place, you might know something about them.
I have only one piece of information, but I'm not quite sure how to impart it without gaping offence.
Oh, please, speak freely. I need all the facts, however grimy.
Well, apparently they wear no undergarments at all.
Oh. None at all. But they have such expensively vulgar hats.
Perhaps they prefer to spend their money on outward frippery.
Well, that's just another thing to be given priority at the club's agenda. Sewing lessons.
Oh, but where do I come
in? Do you play piano?
Oh, why, yes.
Excellent. You shall be my right arm of the club, then.
Are you going to run the club yourself?
Just until it gathers momentum as it is. It seems that the presence of my personality will cool the crowds. As I'm sure yours will too, Priscilla, dear.
Is that all you want of me? To play the piano?
Oh, no, not at all. I wouldn't dream of patronising your capabilities. No, Priscilla, I have several tasks allotted to you, and one very important you can do for me this evening.
Oh, well, you see, that's just it. I really don't feel...
I know, Priscilla, but sometimes, and please don't take it the wrong way, one needs help to overcome one's shyness.
Please don't mention doctors. I have quite lost faith in them.
I couldn't agree more. My run-ins with them have left a lot to be desired. They might have very intricate brains, but other parts of them are more often than not ham-fisted. No, Priscilla, we have to learn how to help ourselves. And what's the better way of finding an interest outside the confines of domesticity?
Thank you very much for such a warm welcome. I always enjoy coming back here to the Empire in Deptford.
My mum didn't half kick up a stink about me going out tonight. Better be worth it.
What moaning?
Oh, you're lovely, ain't you? You're honoured, you are. Did you know that the place where you reside is named after you? The people? Deptford. Because everyone's in debt for things they can't afford. Nah, it's a hard life. Don't talk to me about debt. Up to here I am. I wish I was a bit taller. That ferry service you got. Yep, that's right. What service? Man could go mad waiting for that to take him across the river. I saw this fella only yesterday, giving up, walking down the high street, going like this. And I says to him, excuse me, mate, but you ain't got a bow. And he says, haven't I? Jesus Christ. So he starts going like this. And then I says to him, don't worry, mate. You shouldn't be walking under the water. He gave me an old-fashioned look. But you soon had that new foot tunnel going up to Greenwich, isn't that right?
What is he? A sort of speaking newspaper?
Only less entertaining.
You'll be having your picnics and your days out in the Isle of Dogs once the tunnel's built. Speaking of dogs, you got your own isle at the top of the road there. But none of them, to my knowledge, have ever walked up an aisle.
Guess what's coming next? Let him try.
Shut up, Mag.
What's coming next?
The Gut Girls. You gotta watch out for them, fellas. Hard as nails they are. And drink. They ain't got hair on their chests. They got twigs. Crack your ribs they could. With their eyelids.
Ha ha ha.
Oh, but they are being well looked after. Did you know they have their own patron saint? Saint Nicholas. He's got to look after them, and I can't, they don't wear none. But no one wants to take home a girl like that, I can tell you. And if that weren't bad enough, now the Duchess has taken them under her wing. She's going to give them all a new pedigree. Oh, well, what's this then? A charity walk? I think you've got the wrong address, lady. Are you maybe looking for the Temperance Society? Where'd you come from? Don't keep us all in suspense. Where you from? Brockley. It's a nice place. It's a bit like Lee Green with rigor mortis. Nah. It's a nice place to come from. It's not a nice place to go, mine. Do you do good works, lady? No need to be shy. I bet you do. There was this Christian woman, this lady from the Humanitarian League, and this gut girl.
We can't hear you.
All we can feel is a drag.
What's got 4 legs, a tail, and bark?
A dog.
So you do know what dogs are, then?
You lot have got a sister called Cinderella.
Just because someone started you while you were still up. You're so ugly that when you was born, the midwife turned round and slapped you off.
They warned us if we chopped up bacon, a pig would come back and haunt her. And it did tonight.
Yeah, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good night to you. Good night.
Let's go round the back and get him.
Leave it, Mag. Oh, blimey. Don't look now.
What? Only Ma Cuttle Smythe? She's coming over to us. What a show up.
Don't let us see us, for Christ's sakes. We'll never live it down.
Oh, shit.
Good evening.
Evening, miss. Can I get you a drink?
No, thank you. It's just, I'm here.
Why don't you sit yourself down? Take the weight off your pins.
Again, thank you, but no, that's quite all right. I'm here to inform you that Lady Helena herself is going to be running the club this evening and to persuade you all to come along.
But we've paid to get in here.
Now, if Lady Eleanor were to go up there and do a turn-up on that stage, we'd all be happy.
Please, say you will.
Look, I'm sorry, but this is our time and surely we can spend it as we please.
Well, yes, of course, but I think that in the long run, the club will be of more benefit to you.
We're happy where we is, thanks.
Well, if you change your minds...
Creek Rose.
Yes.
What are we going to do?
What we always do when someone tries to tell us what we should be doing. Take no bleeding notice.
Well, what's so special about this place anyway? At least Lady Eleanor wouldn't stand around insulting us.
She'll have to come up with better enticement than that if she wants me to go to a flaming club.
Well, what's up with the
Quiet, please.
It was an excellent idea to allow them to leave work an hour early. The club is full to overflowing every week.
Unfortunately, the majority of them are extremely unwilling to learn. They can't see what could be achieved in the long run.
Give them a few weeks.
But in the meantime, I'm afraid of losing their interest, so I've asked Edwin to come along with a little surprise.
Oh.
Well, I can't understand Ellen. Still not coming here, even with an hour off.
Except we've got to stay for 3 hours in total and it's worse than school.
It's not hard work though, is it?
At least my mum don't give me no aggravation about coming here. She's well pleased me and Lady Eleanor breathe in the same air. What's the matter with you, Paul? Lost your tongue?
I'm trying to finish me fucking knickers, ain't I?
Ooh, what's so special about your fanny?
Annie, really? Try and remember you're a young lady.
Here, Polly. Dare you call Lady Eleanor Lena?
I dare you to try her out.
Call that an ass? Looks more like a frozen cow turd.
Girls, your attention, please. You're here to learn, not chatter.
Wait for it. She's now going to make up a new rule.
Do you know the first time she said there'd be no rules?
Yeah, now there's about 20. I will not tolerate talking whilst I'm talking. It is extremely bad manners.
Look, miss, I finish.
Creep.
We usually wait until we're spoken to, but... Oh, you've done well. I didn't expect anyone to finish until next week, and... Are you sure they're not a little on the large side? And good gracious me, all those pockets. What on earth?
Hankies, miss. We need a lot of them. Don't do to go wiping your nose on your hand. Knife will slip right out.
Now, where was I?
Oh, Lena.
I beg your pardon?
You meant I was Lena. I've made these too big. Is that what you was meaning?
Oh, right. It was quite possible I was mistaken. Now, I would like, with your consent, of course, to introduce a new rule.
Dare you call her Elle then?
You've still got to try her out first.
The rule is that no loose women are allowed to come to the club.
We don't know what you mean, Mum.
Don't worry, I won't say nothing.
Those who have strayed from the path of virtue.
Which side of Evelyn Street is that on?
I meant fallen women.
Oh, blimey! What am I going to do? I'm falling!
Oh no! We're all fallen women! That's quite enough! All of you, get up the Simpson, put your sewing away. It's time for the Bible reading. Now, where was I? Now, I found something very relevant and something that I think you'll find very interesting because it's directly connected to your church that is just around the corner from where you work. Who can tell me what it's got on its gateposts?
Dog shit.
2 skulls. Quite right. And does anyone know why?
2 heads is better than 1, miss.
That as might be, but those two have biblical significance. Can anyone tell me what it is?
To remind us that there's more dead people in the world than live ones.
In fact, no. Those two resemble a vision Ezekiel was given by God, and I'm going to read it to you. Now, the language is rather antiquated and cumbersome, so bear with me whilst I paraphrase for your benefit.
Oh, wake me up when it's time to go to the pub.
Ezekiel, chapter 47. I felt the powerful presence of the Lord. He took me to the valley of dry bones. He said to me, "Can these bones come back to life?" I said, "Lord, only you can answer that." And thus said the Lord God, "Tell the these dry bones to listen to the work of God. Tell them, I am the sovereign Lord. And he said, Behold, I will come, breathe life into you, and you shall live. I will give you the muscles and cover you with skin and cause your blood to flow. We don't usually clap in the Bible. Still, I particularly like this passage myself.
Oh, miss, excuse me, but where we come from, passage is a rude word.
Can anyone tell me what it means?
Oh, well, it's like you're underneath. You're private.
No. The reading, can anyone tell me what the significance is?
Hell,
What did you say?
isn't it like a vision of hell? Everything all dried up in there.
Oh, right. Yes, well done, Polly. It is sort of, but with a happy ending. And shall I tell you why I like it?
Do we have the power to stop you?
It is because it's what I see today in Deptford. Oh, young people like you, all dried up without hope and future. But it doesn't have to be like that.
Leading arrogance of the silly mare.
Maybe she means the sheep girl.
I don't care who she means. If anyone should dry up, should be her.
Now, the next week is Holy Week.
No such luck.
Who can tell me what the Holy Week is about?
Having a good time.
It is not. It is remembering that Jesus Christ suffered and died for each and every one of us.
Who?
Our Lord, Jesus Christ.
Never heard of him.
Yes, you have. They're being silly, miss. He's the one we learned about at school. He's the one what gave someone a kiss.
Well, I can't quite recall.
Nelson, that's right.
Goodness me, that's... Oh, come on, you must know who it is. Excuse me a moment.
Don't keep this up. Now we get the life story of Jesus.
I wouldn't fret. We was going to get it anyway.
Listen. This evening we have a special treat. Something that I'm sure will amaze you. Lord Tartadon very kindly agreed to come along with their lanterns light. And through this we will be able to see details from our Lord's life with an aid of magic.
All set.
Perhaps you'd be so kind to take us through?
Righto. Here we see a picture of Jesus in the first perambulator ever invented. It wasn't until some years later that they decided to put wheels on it.
This is supposed to be educational, Edward. Here we can see that the Son of God started life in a very humble conditions.
Here we see teaching in the temple, aged 12. And then a small gap in the story till here, when we find him on the cross. What a way to spend Easter, eh?
He died so we might know of the life hereafter. To let us know that we too have a chance on earth to be born again. A fresh start. Lord Tartadon, do you have a picture of the stone being rolled away?
Let's see now. Oh, yes. Here is a picture of Jesus making his first public appearance after the crucifixion to Mary Magdalene.
Now, she is a very important character and personally my favourite amongst the women in the New Testament. This Mary, unlike the Mother of God, was shunned by those around her. She led heathen and contemporary way of life, but Jesus didn't judge her. He went out of his way to get to know her, and through him, her life was completely transformed.
What's she getting at? Search me.
Now, please dismiss quietly, and remember to behave with social manners, not just in this room, but in the street and in your work. This week, I want you to take Lord Jesus Christ home with you. I'll see you all next week at 8 o'clock prompt. Quite good, that. See you next time.
Come on, Jesus.
What are you doing? She said we have to take
Jesus, Dumbledore. Come on, let's get out of here.
Little more than righteous beasts.
Rather. I mean, high-spirited cultishness.
Magic Lantern was a great success. Many thanks, Tati.
Don't mention it. I must be off.
Oh, Edmund.
Wishful thinking. Wishful thinking.
Well, Priscilla, we certainly have our work cut out.
There's one pair missing.
This girl, Polly, finished hers. I was quite astounded. She shows pretty little interest in anything else.
But she hasn't paid for them.
Oh, Priscilla, we'll see her next week, don't worry. And I was thinking maybe we should extend activities of the sewing club. Those children have such disgusting clothes.
And those awful hats.
Wearing such awful clothes.
Fancy wearing it. I would be caught dead being seen in something like that in the street.
If she'd have caught me wearing it, I'd only be half
I ain't going next week.
Listen, Annie, don't take her to heart all that rubbish about fallen women. She don't know anything about you and she ain't gonna find out neither.
But that ain't the point, is it? Anyway, can't figure out what she's bothering us for in the first place.
She wants to turn us into real ladies, don't she?
You lot turn as bad as old poo-faced Ellen you are. And I better get home, otherwise I'll get off old misery chops.
She ain't that bad, your mum.
You don't know her like I do.
We'll walk you down to the bottom of Evelyn Street.
Don't worry. I'm not so much of a lady yet to be worried about a few drunks. See you tomorrow.
No. Come on, you.
My old maid follow the way,
And I'm dilly-dally all the way. And I'm dilly-dally.
Good evening, young lady.
Evening, sir. Mind if I get on my way?
You've got a moment to stop and talk with the gentleman, haven't you? Just for a while.
No. Please let me pass.
How would you like to earn a shilling?
Don't touch me, you can't afford, sir.
No, but I can afford anything I like.
I just want to get home. Please get out of my way.
It will only take a moment of your time.
I said no, sir, now.
Now, this is not the way I usually like to conduct business, but you leave me with very little option.
I work all day with these. So don't make me laugh without plaything. If you don't want to see your wedding tackle on sale in the well-beloved tomorrow, for less than a shilling, no doubt, I'd Scarper and Sharpish, mate.
I'll get you for this, you slut. Don't think I don't know who you are, where you work. I'll find you. Next time, darling. Next time.
Oh, Priscilla, so prompt as always. I've just finished the revised agenda for next Thursday. Have you brought your music?
Yes.
Oh, goodness me, your face, what happened?
Oh, it's nothing. Really, it looks worse than it is. I bumped into a door. Rather stupid, rather clumsy. It serves me right for walking by myself in the dark. I tripped and banged myself. But really, I'm perfectly fine.
Are you sure?
Yes. Now, let me...
Oh, I hope Arthur's been taking a good care of you.
Yes. Yes, he has.
He's such a thoughtful man.
He is. He's a good man.
Without his help and support, we wouldn't have such success in our hands.
He's tried his best. It's been very difficult for him. You have to try and see his point of view.
I'm sure, Priscilla. Please, don't upset yourself.
Oh, it's not for me I'm upset, you understand. It's for him, really. He's been quite distraught, and I've been no help whatsoever.
He's distraught because you bump into things?
No, I'm afraid it's all come rather a shock to him.
Okay, Priscilla, please take a deep breath and tell me what's going on.
Arthur is displeased about the girls.
But he seemed so agreeable about the whole idea of the club. Why did we...
No, about them having to be laid off next month.
What? Why?
Well, because a large amount of his capital is tied up in
Yes,
those shares.
yes, but why they be laid off?
Oh, something to do with the corporation stopping imports. I'm afraid I didn't fully understand.
This is terrible.
But I thought, well, we both did, that it was your doing. I mean, didn't you say it should be made illegal for girls to work there?
But it's too soon. Much too soon. Those girls are unemployable elsewhere. Haven't even had time to speak to the Member of Parliament of Deptford, never mind the chivvy legislation.
You didn't know anything about it.
That's the first I've heard of it. This is disastrous. Those girls have no skills whatsoever. I must go to the corporation today and beg them, yes, beg them to reverse their decision.
Oh, but I think it's all cut and dried.
Well, at the very least, I can ask them to reverse their decision.
Would you like me to go with you?
No, Priscilla. You go home and rest and set poor Arthur's mind at rest too.
Makes me bleeding laugh, it does. All that gab about falling women. And then that bastard starts on me in the street, threatening me and all sorts. That's it. I ain't going near that poxy club again.
You should tell her, Lady Eleanor, what happened. Don't let him get away with it.
And who's she going to believe between him and her? It'll be her every time.
You know what they should do, don't you? Pull their cocks off. They'd only have to do it once. And that'd make all the others stop and think, now do I really want to rape this woman or do I want my cock pulled off?
Blimey, you've changed.
And I am sick to the back teeth of all these toffs waltzing in here saying how awful it is. It's them by saying it's awful made it seem so awful.
It's always been awful. It's an awful job, whoever has to do it.
But one thing's for sure, I'll never be the likes of Lady Eleanor doing it.
And the sovereign lord said unto me, Lady L, gather up them dead bones and put them round your body till they squash the living daylights out of you.
Watch it, Paul, don't let Harry catch you.
I just had a vision. I was in the valley of dry bones. Make haste and take me to...
Carry on, Paul, it's only Ellen.
What are you doing here? Got Harry put you on London again?
He has. Listen, I just sneaked back. I just heard we're all going to get laid off.
Oh, you just had a vision and all?
No, this isn't a joke.
How do you know? Probably something Jasper found out from his friends in the city.
When? I don't know exactly. I overheard these two chaps.
Ellen, you know they'd do anything to wind us up.
Ellen, what on hell's name are you doing in here? Get back up to the river end and count yourself lucky I've not fired you. Which one of you ain't going to the club tonight to play pretty miss with Lady Eleanor?
Rest assured, Harry, I ain't setting foot in that place again.
Right, you go out there and help Ellen. We need all the help we can get this evening.
What's going on, Harry?
I don't know, girls. Really, I don't. They don't tell me nothing.
Scaremongering again. The same happened 2 years back, when all the cattle got ill on the voyage over here. But we're still here, ain't we?
Well, why then did
Because
Harry...
he likes to wind us up. Here, why don't we get our own back on him? I've still got that Jesus picture. We can shine it up on a wall and Harry will believe Jesus has come to take him off to heaven.
What good would that do?
I don't know. It'll be a laugh though.
Got to put it in one of those special light boxes, and you ain't got one, you nosy gizzard.
Ellen's telling us that we ain't going to have no jobs. And all you can think about is having a laugh.
How can we not have any jobs? I mean, they've even taken some of us to help unload the ships that have that many beasts.
Well, then how come the sheds are so empty?
Because there's always a delay getting them slaughtered and that before they come into the sheds.
Yeah, they need us to help clean out the innards. Now, all beasts have got insides, no matter what Lady Eleanor or Ellen may think. So until we find a beast without none, we'll always have a job.
You're right.
But I think we'd be best just keeping in with her, just to be on the safe side.
Let's stop at yours first, Annie. Have a quick supper.
But we ain't got nothing.
The Lord will provide.
Nora, would you get cups ready?
Very good, madam.
Priscilla, how good of you to come a bit earlier.
Have you heard back from the corporation?
Oh, your face is better.
Oh, yes, it was nothing.
No joy at all, I'm afraid, from the corporation. Nothing I would do or say would reverse their decision.
Oh, but that's terrible.
Well, I thought so too, but then when I really sat and thought it through, I said to myself, it doesn't have to look so bleak. Isn't it the God-sent opportunity we were waiting for? We must use the time we have got to the full.
But they'll
have to work hard and be pushed for their own benefit.
Well, I brought the music.
I don't think we'll be needing it anymore, Priscilla. From now on, it has to be work and not much play.
Settle down, girls, please. There isn't room for a slacker. It isn't fair on those who want to learn.
Here, who's there? Who can tell me what was wrong with this statement?
Firstly, we never point. It is extremely rude. Secondly, the correct way of phrasing it is, excuse me, but who is this young lady?
Well, who is she then?
Thirdly, one never speaks until one is spoken to. Nora is what's called an undermaid in my household.
Under the thumb.
If you want to mumble or pass comments under your breath, then you better go outside and do it. I brought Nora here as an example to what you might aspire to if you listen carefully and learn quickly. If you don't want to, then there are plenty of others willing to take your place. Nora, would you stand here next to me?
Do you think she knows something we've done? Best not to fall out of the now. That's what I think.
All of you, separate yourselves so you don't feel tempted to chat. Now, what do you notice about Nora?
She ain't said nothing.
She hasn't said anything. Repeat after me. She hasn't said anything.
She hasn't said anything.
Good. See, you can talk properly if you want to. Why hasn't she said anything?
Oh.
No. Don't answer. It's a rhetorical question. She hasn't said anything because we do not speak until we are spoken to. And if we do answer, we do it as politely and precisely as possible. Now, Nora, would you please show these young ladies how to enter a room correctly while Mrs. Cutter Smythe and myself will pretend to take afternoon tea?
Very good, madam.
Would you care to take tea with me this afternoon, Mrs. Cuttle Smythe?
I should be delighted, Lady Helena.
I shall ring for Nora. Nora, would you please bring tea for Mrs. Cuttle Smythe and myself?
Very good, madam.
Thank you, Nora. That would be all, Nora.
Thank you, madam.
Now, what did you notice about Nora? She carried herself in a ladylike manner. She took small steps, not large strides. When she poured the tea, she stood with her back straight and didn't slouch her shoulders. Now, Nora, would you sit in this chair for me? Rarely will you be required to sit in your employer's presence, but nevertheless it is important to sit in a ladylike manner even if you are alone. You sit with your back straight, your legs firmly together, and your hands on your laps. Is that understood?
Excellent, Nora. Well done. And what is your ambition, Nora?
To be head maid, madam.
And one day I think you're likely to achieve it. Although you will all be required to start at the very bottom, it is worth remembering that domestic service gives you the chance to learn and improve. So if someone in a position above you leaves to get married, then there are all the chances these days to get a promotion within a household. Now, that's enough talking. Now, Mrs. Cutter-Smythe, would you please get caps for the girls, and let's get down with the real work.
Oh, God. She's going to dress us up as dollies.
In silence, please. The next lady I hear cursing, blaspheming, or swearing can leave. If you want to behave like street urchins, maybe the street is the best place for you. What do you think, Mrs. Cutter-Smythe?
Well, one or two adjustments.
Now, please, walk across the room in a ladylike manner. Turn, come back to me and say, "You rang, madam." And remember, you are all capable of being ladies. It is up to you. What do you think? Well, remember, they all started with the most menial jobs. It's the manner, appearance, and attitude we have to break them into. Now, don't rush. Keep your heads up. No, your nose is in the air. Now, look ahead, not down. Good, good. Keep going. No, don't rush. Back straight. Right, good. Now turn and come back to me. You rang, madam! No, not so loud. Don't drawl. Oh, now, one at a time.
You rang, madam?
Good.
I have been in service
No,
before.
no, I've not asked you a question. Go back and do it again. You?
You rang, madam.
There's a hint of impatience in your voice. Again?
You rang, madam.
No, not quite so. Go back and do it again. You? You rang, madam. That sounds downright impertinent. Again? You rang, madam. Again? You rang, madam. No, go back and do it again. No, don't look at one another. Don't frown. You don't want lines on your face before you're 30. Oh, Nora, would you please take this tray, mind bringing it in, set the table, and then say, "You rung, madam," and say, "Will that be all, madam?" Thank you. Now, please, would you follow Nora's example?
Will that be all, madam?
Excellent. Now, right one, off you go. No, I don't think so. The tea service would have fallen from the tray by now. Go back and do it again. Will that be all, madam? Don't fidget. Once you've poured the tea, stand up straight. Go back into it once more. Bend your knees. No one wants the sight of your rear end taking space in their drawing room.
Will that be all, madam?
Go back into it again.
Will that be all, madam?
Good, good. Now the rest of you would do well to follow this example.
It is quite extraordinary the amount of households looking for servants nowadays.
Well, you still haven't need a maid yourself, don't you? Well, my dear, take your pick. If you can't have the first choice after all the work you've put into it, I don't know who can. The last one was very good.
You know, I rather like that one, Polly.
The girl that was so deft with the underwear. She's a bit dense, not to mention ungainly.
Oh, but pleasingly gentle of temperament, not like the others. She's very slow to take offence.
Right, girls, let's do it again. Cake and coffee will be well earned this afternoon.
I'll go and put the kettle on.
Right, first one, off you go. Keep your back straight, try at all the times to look pleasant.
Will that be all, madam?
Very good, madam.
Thank you, madam.
I thought I was going to be all right, Harry. I thought it was just them girls that was laid off.
I'm sorry, son. I'm really... Nobody told me they was going to slaughter and gut the beasts before they even got here. Started to make them ice cold. No, that's progress for you. It's lucky they decided to keep the older chaps on. At least you younger ones have a better chance of finding another job.
Harry, what chance have I got? I don't know no other work.
There's no shortage of butcher shops round here, boy. Go and ask them if they're looking for a delivery boy.
Harry, you know our butchers would not pay half of what I was getting here. Plus, I don't know how to ride a bicycle.
Oh, blimey, don't look now, but there's Ellen yet already. Let's get back into work. Good luck, son.
Harry?
You've got a bush and old Jim.
Yeah. Yeah, do you know where Kate is?
They've all gone running up Craig Road, put themselves at Lady Ellen's nursery.
Yeah, maybe she can do something for me.
She'd have a work for haven't they, wouldn't she? Trying to turn you to a shining ideal of Christian womanhood.
Hey, what do you mean?
She ain't offering service for men. She don't care how he carries on. It's women's behaviour she wants to change.
Hey, Annie, what's it like? I mean, how many days do you get off? When do they pay you? Do they give you enough money to get your own on your holidays?
It depends. You might get one Sunday off a month. I don't know, really.
Do you get your own room? Or do you have to share?
Depends. Suppose you'll have to see when you get there.
Suppose they ask me to do something I've never heard of. What will I say?
Well, you've heard of peeling potatoes and polishing floors, cleaning steps, washing curtains, making a tea, making a fire. You ask you to fly in the air.
No, I suppose it's just common sense at the end of the day.
Yeah. It's all the things you ain't doing on the body self. Only you just have to do them for somebody else. Oh, there's a smile on your chops.
Yeah, I ain't looking forward to it.
What'd she say? She's fixing up in service. Honey, what the hell are you doing? You know what it's like. To be honest, it might be some sort of novelty, but Christ, surely you don't want to go back into that sort of work. Bowing and scraping. Ellie, shut it, will ya? You're nervous enough. Don't make it worse. Can't all be like that, can they? I can't fall foul of Lady Helen the man. I mean, how can I say to her, thank you very much, but no thank you very much? Because there ain't no other work. And by the time we figures that out, I can't then go back on the hands and knees to her. Because by then, she'll have a lot more deserving cases than me to face. It's worth a try, honest it is. You forget, Ellen, that I've been on the streets once before. And I can tell you anything, yeah, virtually anything is better than that. I'm going to give this a try, because at the end of the day, mate, what choice have I? Maggie, what happened to the others? I don't know. So many of us asking for help, we lost each other. Holly got fixed up straight off, I know that much. She starts working with Cox in my household. That bastard don't know everything from me. No, but his wife does. What about you? I didn't get no home at all. And what's more, I ain't gonna get none. Stop going to a flaming club. So Ellen, looks like I'll be joining you and trying down the jam factory. You wouldn't take me on. Been to every factory round here and they all say the same thing.
only taking on girls with reference from Lady Eleanor. I'm going to try down Southwark. Maybe I think it's travelled that far. Are you coming? Well, ma'am, she needs me at home. She wouldn't have me at home if he was in service.
No, but she'd have the satisfaction of thinking I'd made something of myself. I better get back and let know what's happened.
What are you doing here?
They decided to kick out the youngest chaps and all.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. Harry says that I should try for a job in a butcher's. Well, here, how'd you get on with Lady Eleanor?
She's fixed me up to see a family tomorrow. But the position of general maid.
Not so much for her up there getting a shot, right?
Dreams, Jim. Children's dreams.
Do you know that we're nothing, we are? If we live or we die tomorrow, nobody would care, Kate. Suppose you don't get in that house tomorrow.
Any girl what won't find work of her own is to be given 7 shillings a week.
But they're just going to give money away.
Yeah? I'll say this for her. She's really putting herself out.
You mean to tell me that even that dozy-do Polly got herself into one of them households with one of them joined together names and you ain't got nothing?
Yeah?
That's the long and short of it. Go back and ask her again. Later. How about? I've got more bloody pride. Pride? Pride? You think you're a man, you do. I don't. What have you got against being in service anyway? Most normal, decent girls would jump at the chance. I don't want it. It's only till you get wed. I don't want to get married. Well, what are you going to do then?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'll follow wonderful Lady Eleanor's example. Live on my own to devote my life to the good of others.
But that she's got respectability of widowhood. I'll tell you one thing, girl. You ain't going to stop under this roof unless you educate.
See you now.
Not for much longer, girl. Not unless you get off your backside.
Do you need me hands? No, I don't have any experience of factory work, but I worked in the factory sheds in Deptford. I ain't had a 6 day off, ever. I'm a hard worker, honest. You just got to show me what to do and I'll pick it up. I'm a fast learner. Please take me on. Give me a chance. Oh, no, I wouldn't have anything to do with trade unions.
Good morning, madam. My name's... Good morning, madam. My name's...
Good morning, Mrs. Cotsmire. I'm not really sure, like. Should I have used the back door?
The apprentice fund is growing fatter by the day, Helen. By my reckoning, you'll be able to admit another 10 girls to your School of Domestic Economy.
Priscilla, should have been here half an hour ago.
I doubt you'll be seeing her.
Or whatever not.
She's got her bigger servants. What does she need you for?
Oh, she's not like that. We think I'll be friends.
She's such a sickly creature.
Well, she was, but in the last couple of weeks, she's really come out of herself.
Oh, Helena, you can be so naive about people.
In what way?
The Cutter's Smites are after status. If enthusing about your hobby horse was part of the game, then so be it.
I don't agree with you at all. She's probably been laid up. Her work and less gossip is required.
See, Fabia, come in.
There's a lady. Please, Emily, you know there's no need for formalities with Mrs. Cuttersby. Madam, it's not Mrs. Cuttersby. It's a lady, woman, one of them girls from the club. Well, here.
The audacity!
Well, sure, Emily.
get work?
Only those who attend the club regularly can now avail themselves of help.
Quite so. Otherwise it wouldn't be fair on us girls to learn. Can you please tell me why you're not coming?
Brother went well, madam. Your mother had to work evenings and I had to look after him.
Well, I don't know.
Please, madam, your mother can't afford to keep me. I have to earn my way. I'll do any reasonable work.
Well, I was going to suggest my apprenticeship fund, where you work for nothing, but the fund pays you a small allowance.
Would you?
The scheme's for 13 to 15-year-olds. You'll make a nonsense of it.
Yes. Yes, I suppose that's right. There's nothing much I can do at the moment, but I will bear you in mind. Emily, would you please take this young lady out and take her address?
I need to bother yourself. I ain't got one. Your mum threw me out.
You were a bit hard on her, Edmund. I didn't like you to contradict you.
Oh, Helena, she was a troublemaker. You can't be too soft on that sort. She'll have to learn.
I pawned all my books today. But it doesn't matter. It wouldn't have mattered in the end what I'd said or done. It wouldn't have made a shred of difference what 500 of us had done. We'd still have been out of work. They'd still have got their way. Those people with their clubs, funds and allowances, all put up out of fear that we, the ones who made their wealth, might get out of hand. At least she found them all work. But in service. In service? Is that what we're here for? You service your husband and your children. So what's wrong with servicing those deemed better than you? At least you get paid for it. I don't want to keep arguing and kicking against it. I don't want to stick out like a sore thumb and be seen as odd. Who am I to call the others fools, when I'm the biggest laughing stock of the lot? Actually thinking that I had any say over what happened to me or anyone else.
Please, come in, Arthur. I'm most terribly sorry about the loss of income. Priscilla did explain that it wasn't my doing.
Oh, yes, and in fact, when the word got out that you'd gone to plead personally with the corporations for a reversal of their decision, I was able to sell, not as handsomely as I'd have liked, but not at a loss as I originally feared, so I'm quite satisfied with the outcome. Thank you.
Well, that's a relief.
I have come to speak with you on a matter more delicate, that of my wife's health.
Oh, sure, what happened?
Oh, no, nothing, but, and I must come straight to the point, it is doing her no good at all participating in the club, and I have come to ask, now that you have so many other capable volunteers, that she may be excused her duties and allowed to recuperate fully at home.
But it seemed as anything that the club was boosting her self-esteem.
Quite the opposite, I fear.
I'm saddened, but Priscilla's well-being is of the utmost concern.
Thank you for being so understanding.
Promise me one thing, Arthur.
Yes?
That you both will not desert me socially.
I will promise you that with pleasure, Helena.
Good. You will be at the top of the invitation list for the forthcoming feat.
They've got a beautiful looking glass in this room. As a special treat, I'll bring me old hat down here. Only when I'm sure he's out and she's still kept like. and I put it on and pretend all the girls are coming round for tea. Oh, Ellen, Annie, Maggie, Kate, lovies, so pleased you could come. Isn't this just splendid? Sorry, madam.
Are you all right, Polly?
Yes, madam. Sorry, madam.
Did you buy that hat for your mother?
Yes, thank you, madam.
Oh, how is she?
Very good, madam.
Oh, Cook told me she wasn't doing very well.
No, madam.
Why did you say very good then?
Begging your pardon, madam.
Polly, are you also trying to convince me that I'm mad?
I'm sorry, madam. I am really. It's just all this time I've only been told how to say yes, madam. No, madam. Very good, and begging your pardon, madam. I'm
Yes.
afraid if I start talking normally, you'll get offended.
Well, that's very good and proper in front of the master, but you don't need to worry when it's just you and I. What were you doing just now?
Just trying me all that on. Just to cheer myself up a bit, like. Do you want to go?
Oh, there's a quote. A proverb. Oh, I can't think.
Blessed are the pure in heart.
No, it's not in the Bible. It's, don't tame the wild god. That's it.
Never heard that one. Are you all right, madam?
Yes, sorry, it's a pagan sentiment. It means don't squash the spirit out of someone. Christianity can be a rather stifling ideology, don't you think?
If you say so, madam.
Haven't you finished with this room yet, girl?
Polly has been scrubbing the kitchen from top to bottom. I've been supervising her.
Oh, you got up at an appropriate time then. That's much better. I'm pleased. What on earth is that?
We found it in the top shelf of the larder. The previous cook must have left it. If you remember, she did leave quite abruptly.
Get rid of it.
Polly, please take this hat and dispose of it as you will.
Yes, madam.
I'm pleased to see you are learning to assert your authority with the servants at last.
Maggie, what are you doing here? I thought you'd have been in before now.
Times have changed, ain't they? Lady can't go for a drink on her own these days. Went in by your place, but seems you moved.
I had to, didn't I? Tossed up all the places round Watergate Street. Done them up and rinsed them out. Had to take lodgings with a family.
And you're working.
I'm going for a job down the new button factory in Rotherhithe.
Got a union, has it?
I don't know, do I? Fancy you working here. You still living at home?
Nah, your mum threw me out.
So, where are you living?
Here?
Here? Well, what happened to Len then?
I married him. Don't look at me like that, Ellen. He don't trouble me often.
You married Len?
What bleeding choices did I have, Ellen?
What did you marry that great clod for?
Hello, Ellen. How are you?
Hello, Len. We was just talking about the weather.
Chilly out, ain't it? Come and give us a hand in the yard, sweetheart.
Be with you in a moment, dear.
Sorry.
What for? Ain't your fault.
What are you doing here?
Well, I thought I'd pop by and me round and just say hello.
Do you want to get me into trouble?
Oh, chance to be a fine thing.
Don't you dare talk to me like that.
Sorry.
Can't you read? What does that notice say? There, in letters 3 inches high. Now, gentlemen callers.
Well, I'm not a gentleman. I'm a bleeding butcher's boy now.
Jim, there is absolutely no need to swear. Listen, I'll try and slip out and meet you tonight.
Well, you said that last week and you never turned up.
Well, I can't
help it if they've got eyes in the night caps, can I? Now please, go away.
Yeah, look, I've got you to...
Go away.
All I am asking of you is that you accompany me to the fete. It's not as if we're invited as guests of honour every day of the week now, is it?
Please, you go, dear. I don't feel well enough.
You're my wife. It's your duty to accompany me. Besides, I promised Lady Helena you'd be there. Stop this nonsense. I thought that wretched club of yours had knocked that sort of malingering out of you once and for all. Come, get your outdoor things on before it recurs.
She's bound to ask why you put a stop to me helping her.
I didn't put a stop to anything. We both agreed that you weren't suited to it. Besides, she's far too well-mannered to bring the subject up.
She'll only feel obliged to ask how Polly's getting on. And I won't know how to explain that you want rid of her.
You stupid woman. The girl is clumsy, incompetent and hopeless. Lady Helena won't care a damn what I have to say about her and probably arrange to get us another. Christ, servants are 2 a penny. They're nothing. Fancy worrying over a trifle like that. Your soft heart has contaminated your brain.
But she makes me laugh.
All the more reason to come then. I never get to see you laugh.
Not Helena, Polly.
A servant is not supposed to make you laugh. A servant is to be seen and not heard, to know their place. How do you expect to maintain any kind of discipline if you converse with them as if they were part of your social circle?
Please, you just go, dear. I've plenty to be getting on with.
The whole point of having servants in the first place is so that women of your social standing have nothing to get on with. My dear, if you carry on like this, I shall be left without excuse or option but to call the doctor in, for there is plainly something wrong with your head.
It is not my head, but my heart.
Healthier looking women than you are filling up the asylum today.
No, I'm perfectly sane. Perfectly.
Of course you're not, and I shall vouch for that fact. What reason would a sane woman have to refuse to see her friends?
They're not friends, merely acquaintances of yours.
No, refuses to go out with her husband, refuses to leave the house, preferring instead the servants for entertainment. My dear, these are the very values of a madwoman.
I am not mad. I am not mad. I am not mad.
You're ranting, you're raving.
Leave me be! Leave me be!
Now you are... Come on!
Let go!
I'll get you out the house if it kills me.
No, let go! Oh, Polly.
No, I didn't. Get out. You stupid, clumsy oaf!
I'm sorry, sir.
You are? You will be. Don't think you're taking this Sunday afternoon off, or any other Sunday afternoon, until you've made up the time to pay for this.
Please, sir, I will.
No, Arthur, she has to be able to. Her mother's not very well.
Have you not a shred of loyalty to me? I'll teach you a lesson you won't forget.
No, please calm down, dear. It was only an accident.
Here, now look, sir. Say what you like, I'm sorry. But don't hit me.
I'll do what I like with you. I'm paying for you. Some men I know box their servants' ears for putting cutlery in the wrong drawer. Come here.
No one has ever hit me, sir. Not me mother, not me father, not me governor, not no one. I've taken a lot of abuse, no mistake, but I won't be it. I'm warning you, I won't be it.
We'll see about that.
Oh my God. Oh Jesus. Jesus Christ. I think I've done for him, miss.
Polly, go to the kitchen and get me some lard.
Madam?
I'll grease his shoe and the floor.
Madam?
It's worth a try. Polly, please will you go fetch the doctor?
Me?
Oh, no, I'll go.
No, I can't be here. Not when he comes to his senses.
No.
They has their tea early on a Sunday. 3 o'clock. And I'm allowed to do what I want, as long as I'm back by 6:30. And I come up here for some fresh air and I gulp, sit down, and I think, it's me. I'm here and I'm breathing. That looks like, I don't believe it. It is. Oh, Kate! Kate, it's me, Annie!
No. I think every soul on Blackheath knows.
Well, how are you? Ain't you glad to see me? Oh, is that a boy or a girl?
I am very well, thank you. This is Master John. I'm allowed to look after him on Nanny's day off.
Well, ain't that nice for you?
Yeah. They say I have potential to become a nanny.
They would, wouldn't they? What do you keep looking over your shoulder for?
Won't do us any good if they see us talking together.
You what? What, they got a spyglass from the windows then? They can see round corners and through houses. What are you walking away from me for? Kate, it's me, Annie.
Annie, look, it's no good anchoring after what was. We've got to try and make the best of what we got, and I, for one, am trying to better myself. If you've any sense, you'll try and do the same.
What are you so frightened of? Well, that'll snatch the son and heir and hold him to ransom.
That's just it, isn't it? Some of us are trying to forget who we are, where we come from, put the past behind us, but no. Polly goes and bangs a fist in her employer's face, and it's like we're all under suspicion.
You're telling me. Suspicion. You know what mine are taken to do, eh? Only locking me in my room at night. They think I don't know, but I hears the key go. Then they have to unlock it really early so I can get up and do all the chores before they get up proper.
Thanks to Polly.
Poor Polly.
She could have killed him.
Well, I don't see that by talking to me you'll get into trouble. What's that got to do with anything?
They might think we've got something to do with her, or that we're hiding her or anything.
Now let me put your mind at rest, Kate. They caught her. The police. She's in Holloway.
How do you know?
Oh, don't they let you read the papers then? This household where they're so keen for advancement of general maids to nannies.
Actually, they've got another maid to lay out the fires, so I don't get to see the old newspapers. And I'm sorry, Annie, but I really do have to go.
You know I gets to read them, because then what I works for so bleeding mean. They make me put newspaper all over the carpet, and then when the no companies come in, they make me take it all up again. I gets to know the news that way. Everything they got is for show. You know, they're so tight that when they walk, their asses squeak.
I know what she done weren't right.
Please, keep your voice down. My husband's upstairs and the doctor says he's to have plenty of rest.
I'm sorry about that. I mean, I know how you must feel. Got a husband on my own, But me and Polly worked together for years. She weren't the sort to go around starting fights or nothing. Even if there was an argument, she'd be the one to smooth things over. Couldn't you, give her a good character? I mean, I could, but it don't mean nothing coming from me.
Oh, I can't. I can't give evidence against my husband in a court of law.
Well, can't you have a word with him? I mean, I ain't suggesting you take Polly back. Just drop the charges.
You don't understand.
I know it ain't on. To go around smacking people on the jaw. It ain't right, and I know it. But I'm sure Polly never meant to kill him. And let's face it, if it had been the other way around and he'd have hit her, no one would have even heard about it.
It's not that simple.
Oh, but it is. To your sort, everything is. Bet you had one of them real pretty dollhouses when you was a little girl. And you've grown up to live in one of your own. Except it's got real people in it, not dolls. When you don't like one of them for whatever reason, you just get rid of them. Throw them away.
Well, that's not fair.
No, it's not. You've got a responsibility, Mrs. Colesmythe. Not only to yourself, but to Polly.
You reckon they'll hang her then?
I don't know. He's claiming that she intended to murder him.
You think he'd have a bit more vanity than to stand up in that Old Bailey and admit that slip of a maid chinned him and floored him?
A slip of a girl. Polly, let it's your memory what's slipping.
Yeah, but she's still only a woman when all is said and done. Unless you know something I don't.
Well, you never know what people are capable of, do you, Lynn?
True. I hope your Kate ain't like that.
Nah, a proper girl she is. You know, being around her betters has changed her for the better, I'll tell you.
A lady?
Yeah. You know what, I suppose she is. Treats me with a little bit of courtesy and respect these days.
You lucky bleeder. Mag could do with that sort of training, I can tell you.
Hey, where is she?
You may well ask. Said she needed some fresh air. Said she weren't feeling too good. If you ask me, it was too much helping herself to the prophets last night. Here. She, your Kate.
Yeah?
Did she ever bring anything up in the conversation about, sausage skins?
Len, no. Like, I never. And I told her straight. And she ain't likely to be bringing it up again. She's too well spoken these days to refer to sausages in any conversation except one concerning breakfast.
I don't know where they all think it up from. Do you?
No, it does not bear thinking about, Lynn.
We could take a tip off them toffs, Jim, and no mistake. Just look what our women get away with, eh?
How do you mean?
Well, when we're boys, we have to bring our wages straight home to our mothers, right?
Right.
And she gives us pocket money out of it. And what happens when we're men? We bring our wages home to our wives, and she gives us our beer money. Now, you don't get that kind of behaviour from ladies, do you? No. It's all, please may I have some housekeeping money, my darling. We've been getting it wrong all these years, boy.
Yeah, you've got a point there, Len, and no mistake.
Still, I can't stand around here all day discussing how to change the world. What you got for me this week?
Oh, yeah. I was forgetting. Here you are.
Bleed now. Sausages? What are you trying to do to me, boy?
This morning, I woke up and I felt like hugging myself.
It's hardly what you call a rewarding job.
Careful planning and hard work has been a benefit to so many.
You put a button on a metal plate and you cover it with material.
This morning I woke up and I realised I hadn't thought about running away for a whole week. It's much better not to hold on to your dreams. I suppose it's natural to let go of them as you get older.
It was, of course, a blow when girls were unexpectedly thrown out of work.
You bring the lever down.
But even that turned to our advantage, giving the cautious girl the sense of urgency.
And I wanted something more for myself. But my mother was right. You've got to make the best of what you got. It's easier to be ordinary, to do what's expected of you. It's just, I wanted something more.
And there, you have a perfectly covered button.
Through diligence and persistence, even the rawest of the material has been transformed into a servant of the lower middle class acceptability. I've been admired for looking nice and dressing nice. I feel really special when men catch my eye. Now one would dream of calling me common now. I know what to expect to them and they know what to expect to me. If a man swore in front of me today, he'd be mortified. I've earned that sort of respect.
At the end of the day, you've got an old box full.
250 of them placed to date in good households.
The conditions are cleaner, but the old place is very hot and noisy.
One tell of woe. Polly, the apparition.
It struck me this morning that I've always been at someone's mercy. We all are when we're born in that. And then some things unequal out a bit. I was at the mercy of the governors in the sheds. I was at the mercy of the master in the house. And now I'm at the mercy of the law.
Makes it almost impossible to talk.
And one regret, namely Priscilla, who I haven't seen since the incident.
The only variety in the work is when they change the quality of the material.
But I cannot help but marvel, modesty permitting, at the accomplishment.
Well, there's a works canteen here, thanks to the union.
Even the doubting Thomases are about to eat their words.
See that woman? Over there. She started it. She even gives speeches in public. You wouldn't think it, would ya? People think she's mad.
Priscilla, what an unexpected surprise.
But she ain't. She says to me, Ellen, we got a right and a responsibility to speak out. I looks at her the way that Maggie used to look at me. And I says, it's just the way things is. And she says, well, we are going to do something about it.